Floz, welcome back to another Flosstube video. As you can see, today's setup is a little bit different. We are going to do a Chatty stitch with me video on the countryside, my biggest whip so far. I've done 2 Chatty stitch with me's previously. Stitching this the countryside by MacLeod/Stitch DMC. This is a kit I bought from Amazon, and once stitched up, I want to gift it to my parents in China. It is a very autumnal pattern. It is stitched on 14 count Aida, 352 by 260 or something like that. The fabric is like 76 centimeters by 54-ish, so it's a fairly large piece for me. I normally would stitch this in the study on my signature red chair, but today, to do this stitch with me with fairly good lighting, I sort of changed everything. So now I'm lying down on the sofa in the living room with Amy lying on a, workout mat. So you might hear her doing greyhound stuff, and JP might join us later. He's doing some video transferring. So I have finished page 3 last time when you saw this piece in my progress update video. So now I'm just doing the 4th page, starting from here. I might as well start stitching. So if you've watched my previous, I think October stitching update video, you would have known that this month I decided to focus more on things I could finish. So this one was a bit neglected so far. I think this might be the 3rd day that I stitched on it. Yeah, maybe. And I thought I did pretty good progress for like 2 days of stitching. So all this was done in 2 days. I should have said today is 21st of November. 9:37 at night in Melbourne. Sunday. So we had a fairly big day. JP went to a colleague's place to play Kings of War, and he's about to make another battle report video, and he's very excited about it. I actually want to make this stitch with me video for a while, but I just didn't, because recently I have been feeling a bit down in general, and I also don't feel like making a video. I just don't feel motivated, really. It's related to like my health problems and also channel, because I feel like the channel's not doing as well as it could be. But anyways, it's not the topic I want to focus on this time. So this month, actually, a lot has happened health-wise. Maybe I should talk about Amy first, because she went through some hiccups too If you don't know, Amy is 9 years old officially this month. Her birthday was last Sunday, so 14th. And she had, I think she might have had arthritis for a while. Sorry, I'm not very prepared, and I'm actually really tired tonight. Let me just put this thing back. So on Cup Day, which was 2nd of November, no, it was actually the night before, so 1st of November. I wasn't really present when it happened, but Amy wanted to go outside as usual at night because apparently greyhound likes to walk around the garden, do some sniffing, stuff like that. And Amy does it too. So she went to the garden just to sniff and maybe, you know, do her business. But apparently, according to JP, she screamed and yelped and kind of limped when she was walking back inside. And that night she was giving us hell because she was whining all night and she just couldn't find a comfy spot. And once she stood up, she didn't want to sit down again. And she was very adamant on sleeping in the guest bedroom downstairs, which she never did. So then we had to deal with that, and because the next day is Cup Day, Melbourne Cup Day actually, which was I guess Melbourne public holiday. So then we booked the vet appointment for the day after, which was the 3rd of November. And we thought, okay, if Amy could just hold on for one more day, then the vet could, you know, look at what was going on with her. But then JP didn't really have the Cup Day off. And I was at home, but Amy was just stressed the whole day. And because she's a very timid dog, if she knows that something can cause her pain, she will just, you know, avoid doing it, which in turn doesn't really help her at all. So, like, every time she gets up, she just whines. She doesn't want to sit down. She complains about it, but there's nothing I can do. So she just stands there, not knowing what to do, doesn't want to move, and whines constantly. So even though the whole day I was at home, I was very stressed, and she was very stressed. I knew it was something to do with her hip. Oh, actually, her leg, her right side. But I didn't know exactly where it was that was causing her pain and discomfort. And also, normally she gets really excited when you tell her to walk, but like that day she really wasn't that interested. And also she would not drink water, would not want to go to the garden to urinate, would not want to eat even. And you know, some greyhounds are like really dramatic. So the way they whine make you think that they're dying, and that was pretty much how Amy behaved. Like the way she whined was heartbreaking. So I really thought something was terribly wrong. So then I called JP when he was at work, and I was like, well, we'll possibly need to get her looked at today, even though I feel like it could be muscular, but the way she behaved, you know, a few days of no pooing, the dog could get blocked up and there could be more complication. So we ended up contacting the vet, and the vet said, oh, there's this pet emergency you could go to, and they're open 24 hours. They're not cheap. So we decided to take her. And came back home. I cooked, even though it was very dreadful cooking, because, you know, at the same time Amy was whining a lot, just telling me she was in pain when I couldn't do anything. So JP came home, we ate, and we took Amy to the pet emergency. We had to wait because it's literally like emergency department for humans. It's about the orders of things. So we were waiting patiently, Amy in the car, and finally, after maybe 45 minutes of waiting, it was Amy's turn. So she was getting looked at. At the same time, I was thinking, oh my god, I have no idea how much it was going to cost, because the consultation fee was $165. So just to get your pet looked at, it was $165, let alone if they were going to administer anything or do any other procedures on top of that. Anyway, so when Amy was getting looked at, we were just waiting. Ended up going to Hungry Jack's. So another maybe 45 minutes later, they said most likely it was muscular, like her right hip. She might have done something stupid in the garden, hurt her hip. And she was prescribed some meloxicam, which was an anti-inflammatory. And then we were told how to administer it. You know, it was just for like a few days. So we did that. And Amy seemed fine and she was getting better every day. For me, my concern was bone cancer, which is not uncommon for especially big dogs, like older big dogs. And it can be quite painful. And because Amy was whining so hard, I thought it must have been so painful and she was, you know, dying. But it was not, thank God. Otherwise, we probably would have lost her like really quickly. So I was getting quite upset and getting quite worked up myself as well. Well, yeah, it's all good. So then we thought, okay, after the course is done, Amy should be okay now, but nah, I think it's just old age. It must be arthritis. It's not a one-time thing. So these few weeks, Amy's hip was getting really stiff. And it's very common that at night she would just whine about it and walk around. And because we have floorboards, it would wake JP up instantly pretty much. So then we took her to the vet recently again to get her looked at, and they said, yeah, it's probably arthritis and we might have to administer the meloxicam every day now. And it is not cheap, let's say. So yeah, we've been dealing with that with Amy recently. And if you could see my house right now, it's literally Amy's beds everywhere. And she has been really obsessed with guest bedroom, which she never used to do it. So yeah, now she's just lying anywhere. And I bought her a very, very nice bed like a long time ago, but we recently gave it to her a few months ago and she was loving it, but ever since she had this hip problem, she never wanted to touch it, except for the few days after she was kind of healed after the pet emergency saga. So it was just sitting there, not getting used, and I'm not really happy about it because it cost quite a bit. But hey, what can you do? Yeah, and then I've got some health problem too, and I'm pretty open about it, but I don't know whether other people can deal with like gynecological issues. So if you don't want to hear about female physiology, maybe you shouldn't keep listening. But yeah, so it started when during our 2 weeks annual leave in October, we went to the doctors to get a general checkup because we wanted to do family planning eventually. Well, technically it would have been on our schedule like I want to say 1 year earlier if it wasn't for pandemic, but you can't control what happens. So yeah, we did a blood test and JP was okay. He was just, low on vitamin D. But for me, it was iron, vitamin D, and, doctors tend to tell you to start taking folic acid beforehand, which was fine. But then, did I miss one? Yeah, I think I did. Because my iron's low and she was asking about my menstrual cycle and stuff. And she's like, well, according to the information you gave me, it's better if you do an ultrasound just to see what's going on with your pelvic area. So I went and did one. And it was interesting to begin with because I've never done an ultrasound, first of all. Second of all, pelvic ultrasound needs you to needs to get something inserted inside of you to see clearly what was going on, which was fine. But yeah, I didn't think they would have more men than female. I thought naturally they would have, or they would try to accommodate more and give you, you know, a female, was it sonographer? But no, I had a male. So I was a bit awkward, and he kept checking, oh, is that okay? Like, are you uncomfortable? Like, are you okay with you know, the procedure, blah blah blah. So anyway, it was done. He was nice, and during the checkup, he told me, oh, like, it looks like you have a cyst, and that was before the equipment was even inserted. So he's like, oh, don't be too alarmed. It's quite common to have cysts, blah blah blah. So he didn't really tell me, I guess, a lot of the details then. So then I did the ultrasound, and then I had to book an appointment with a GP to get the results discussed. So then she told me, okay, there were a few problems with your, you know, uterus. So she said, first of all, you had a very large ovarian cyst on your left ovary. It was, I think originally, well, at least in that ultrasound, it was 8.4 centimeters. And she said the information she was given was that it's not a simple cyst, which normally would be just full of, you know, clear fluid. This one had some complex structure. So then I also had other stuff which can cause heavy period, maybe some pressure during menstruation, and also a possible polyp, which was not a big thing really. So she's like, because of that huge cyst, you need to see a specialist for a second opinion. And before that, I'd never seen a specialist before. And then she got me to do more blood tests just to make sure it's like nothing sinister. The cyst is not cancerous, pretty much. So that blood test was for like cancer markers, stuff like that. And then I went to do, well, to book an appointment with the, with a specialist. Oh, hello.
Hello.
I mean, I didn't know what to expect with a specialist. I knew they were going to cost money. I don't know how much. I had private health insurance, but turns out it's not really useful for a specialist. So, well, I guess I have to note that the GP was recommended by a colleague. So she was like really switched on. Before I saw the specialist, she told me to do a bunch of stuff already. Judging by my first blood test. So she got me to, you know, do all the supplements, blah, blah, blah. And then I booked the specialist appointment. I saw the specialist. And she was pretty much telling me everything that my GP told me, which made me like very impressed with my GP's work. And then I also did a pap smear, I think that one was for like to determine whether I've got any like STIs maybe, I'm not sure. But apparently you're supposed to get that done every few years. Anyways. So then the specialist did some test as well. It's literally just like a feeling of the abdomen and use some equipment to have a look inside too. And she was like, oh, it seems like, yes, you have a pretty large cyst, so I recommend you to get another ultrasound done, but this time in a, I guess, much more sophisticated place. I think that place might only be able to like do, oh god, the ultrasound upon the specialist referral. I don't know. Like all these medical things are really beyond me, to be honest. The procedures, the forms. So this was my first experience too. So that got me go to another ultrasound place to do another ultrasound. And this time it was a female. And so my first ultrasound was fully covered by Medicare. So I didn't have to pay a thing, but this one I had to pay like a co-payment or whatever. I think the government covers a little bit. So it was pretty expensive. So the place also had a screen on the wall, so whatever the sonographer sees, I could see. Is that a sonographer? No. I mean, I didn't really know what I was looking at anyways, but I guess I could see like bubble-ish structures. So she said, oh, yep, you have, pretty large cysts, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm not sure whether it's common procedure, but then she ended up checking my kidneys just to have a look. And then she said, oh, you have multiple cysts on your kidneys. You probably need to get a kidney ultrasound. So I was like, okay. I'm not sure why you check my kidneys, but geez, now I have one more thing to worry about. Thank you so much. So then that report gets sent back to both the specialist and the GP, because the person that did the ultrasound said you'll have to see your GP to get a referral for a kidney ultrasound. So I'm not sure whether you guys are keeping track of how many medical appointments I've got now, but it's plenty. So then I went back to the specialist to discuss the ultrasound, the second pelvic ultrasound results. And she's like, yep, it's 8.6 centimeters. It's complex and it's nothing sinister, so we can operate. So I thought, okay, it's better to get rid of it, I guess, since it's so big. And I think because of the size, it's changing the structure of my left ovary a little bit too, from whatever I could read in the first ultrasound report. So I was like, okay, maybe I should get rid of it. So the specialist told me we could do a laparoscopy. It's like keyhole surgery to suck the fluid up and get rid of the extra bit, and it's gonna be easy peasy, minimal recovery time and not much risk involved, blah blah blah. And because I have private health insurance, the waiting time is minimal, so pretty much whenever I'm ready I could do it. So then I thought, gee, December is like really busy, so maybe I should do January. So then I expressed, I guess, my interest in January time, and she got me to fill in a bunch of forms, and she said, okay, I need to wait for any availability, and then the receptionist will contact me. So then I went back to GP to discuss the, I guess, renal ultrasound referral. So then she said, yep. The second ultrasound said you have some cysts on your kidneys too. Sorry, I'm just counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's the one. So let's do a renal ultrasound, just to be safe. So there I went for my renal ultrasound, and it also checks the bladder. So then after that, to discuss your renal ultrasound results, you need to book another doctor's appointment. So then I booked another one. So then she said, your renal ultrasound shows that you have polycystic kidneys. And she was asking me about family history, which, yes, my mom, I didn't know that it was called polycystic kidney disease. I just knew that my mom talked about her cysts on kidneys before. And she said, well, you also have a kidney stone, but it's not obstructing anything, so you're not feeling pain either. But I said, no, there's no pain, there's no discomfort. She's like, well, you have, well, she didn't really tell me how many cysts I got, so I have no idea really what my kidneys look like. Very bubbly or just a little bit bubbly, I don't know. But she said you had, I guess, 2 cysts on your right kidney that possibly need to be investigated. So one was like 5.8 centimeters, one was 2.9, and both of them look like they had internal hemorrhage. So there possibly could be blood in them. Plus I had the kidney stone. So she said, oh, I would recommend you see a urologist. So I was like, wow, this is really never ending. I wanted to do one thing, just one thing, to see, just to make sure everything's okay. But now I ended up jumping in between all the health professionals. I ended up having to see 2 different specialists for multiple different things. And now I have polycystic kidneys, which could have some significance later down the track as I'm aging. And I haven't seen the urologist yet. And this was only in like a span of 2 months, maybe slightly less than 2 months. And I ended up having like a billion appointments. And if it wasn't for that, I would think that I'm rather healthy. I guess not anymore. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me health-wise. It is not fun having to keep track with all the appointments and thinking about like, oh, what's wrong with me? I don't know where I want to stitch, to be honest. Yeah. And it's not even finished yet. Because I still have my surgery. Well, I've got my urologist appointment like in a week or so. So I don't know what the urologist might say. But I don't think there's any like surgery involved for that. Because even though, according to the kidney ultrasound, that I might have some bleeding in my cysts, I have no pain, which means the bleeding is not going into, or like the bleeding is not leaking out, I guess. And of course I have a counting problem, I think. I'm confused. Oh no, I don't. No, I don't. I lied. So you can see why I've been a bit down. Like, it's not like I can't function. I can still work. Although, sometimes trying to meet these appointments means I was late for work. Which was fine. My work is pretty flexible. But yeah. Just a bit exhausted dealing with this. And sleep quality has not been great because Amy's been complaining. So yeah, the healthiest person in this household is JP, which is interesting. You can laugh, you know.
I can laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because I drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah, then I told my mum about all these things, and she told me after I told her about the fact that I needed a surgery. She had a huge ulcer, but there's nothing she can do. Like, she can't even come to visit me or anything. Yeah. And she was telling me all the things I shouldn't eat so that the cysts will not grow. Like, no caffeine, nothing too high protein, not much seafood. And that's what she's been doing, and it seems like her cysts didn't grow too much. And she's approaching 60 now, blah blah blah, and like her friends and her siblings who have got cysts too do this, and they said it's really good, it's been helping, all these things. And I was thinking, oh my god, no coffee, no chocolate, no seafood, it might as well kill me. It just sounded like life literally had no color. There's so much tasty food I can't touch.
Tasty drinks you can't drink.
Indeed. So I have been cutting down caffeine intake because we've been pretty naughty before.
I encourage you too much.
Yeah. Being a scientist, they love their caffeine. And JP tends to encourage me to buy coffee with him when we have the opportunity to on the weekend. So sometimes I ended up having 2 coffees a day.
Lord forbid.
And one day when I didn't have caffeine, I had a freaking massive headache. And then, yeah, I decided to cut down caffeine anyways. So now, cause caffeine doesn't really wake me up. I just like the taste. So JP's like, well, if you want to drink with me and caffeine doesn't do anything, why don't you just get a decaf? Which is fair. Because I still kind of get the caffeine taste, but I don't have to worry about the possible side effects of having caffeine. So I have been ordering decaf, although it does feel a bit silly.
Well, it's about as silly as ordering a chai. You do it because you like it. A chai won't do anything to you.
No. Yeah, once upon a time, I didn't like the taste of coffee, so I was pretty obsessed with chai latte. Oh, it was hot chocolate to begin with, and then it was chai latte once I got used to the taste. So that was okay.
And then in Europe, when you couldn't get good chai lattes, you had to try coffees.
Yeah. I don't know, well, I think it was either chai latte or latte with sugar. But yeah, when we went to Europe for our honeymoon, the coffee was very inconsistent. So after the trip, somehow I got used to coffee with no sugar, which was good because that means the calories of having a coffee suddenly got reduced to minimal. And yeah, that's how my caffeine, not addiction, but caffeine, not an obsession either, but I just started liking coffee. And what else has been going on? So, am I hearing yoga?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gee.
Korean fried chicken. It takes some work.
Yeah, so we ended up driving a long time to one of JP's colleagues' place so he could play a Kings of War game with him.
Yeah, I see his house.
You've never played a physical game against each other, have you?
No, we've played. He's the most I've ever played against, but only online. So this is our first game of real Kings of War.
So that was quite exciting, and JP was inviting me to tag along, which I did. So they were playing, and I was just stitching, but
making comments.
not so much.
No, not too
And also, they wanted to play a physical game so that JP could make another battle report, which seemed to be very popular. Sample size equals 1.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's more coming. Yeah, his wargaming content seemed to be pretty popular. He is very good at blabbering.
Yeah, essentially.
Essentially, he's very good at blabbering. So more battle report coming. And the beast sleeping on the mat is making a lot of noise because she's very comfy.
She's dreaming.
She's dreaming. She's chattering.
She's clenching her jaw.
Yeah, when we were eating Korean fried chicken, she was, getting very greedy. So she wanted, so it was kind of begging. It's like passive begging. We told her no, and then we left her some like cartilage pieces so she could munch on. And then I think that whet her appetite a bit, and JP decided to give her some dog roll, dry food, mixed with chicken frame mince. And she destroyed that. Normally it would take her a while to finish her dinner, but gee, she loved it. It went away like in a whim. Which colour do I want to do now? Why not? Let's do this. So yeah, now she's walked. We've also given her the anti-inflammatory for her pain. And she's eaten, so she's very content. And I think she's slowly getting more comfy too. So she's just sleeping away, close to us. And recently we've found that she kind of wants to be part of the gang. It depends on where we are. She wants to be somewhere, I guess she could observe us easily. It's quite cute. But also she's getting needier. I'm just hearing all the digestion, really.
No, that's her lips twitching.
Oh, is it? That's her gut. So yeah, it just, because I've been going everywhere for health reasons, it really makes me treasure the time when I don't have to go around or go between all the health professionals, getting things booked and waiting to see them as well. You spend a lot of time waiting, and most of the time I can't stitch because it's just a bit inconvenient. Yeah, so please make sure you're healthy, because if you're not healthy, how can you do the things you love? So please, everyone, look after yourself. Keep safe, because being sick really sucks. It just, yeah, you waste a lot of time doing a lot of things you don't have to do, and you don't enjoy doing either. And money too. I think just doing a bunch of tests, seeing specialists and whatever, I've been spending hundreds of dollars. And that's after the, I think, Medicare subsidization? Subsidy? Subsidy. Put this one away.
Welcome back, Amy. She just woke up.
Yeah, this setup means I can't, like don't have a dedicated place for things, so it's harder to get stuff.
We could bring your little table next to
No,
you.
no, it's okay.
What, for next time?
I've moved a lot of things already.
We can bring it for next time.
I wonder how much I stitched.
Bit of switch.
Jeez. All the noise. So much noise. What do I want to do? I think I'll stitch these two if you can see. Also, I've been itching to start something else. Like, not just something else, I guess a full coverage piece, because I'm not enjoying stitching this one as much. First of all, it's a bit discouraging when it's big and I can't see heaps of progress very quickly. I just feel like I'll never be able to finish this. Second of all, because it's like a random Chinese kit, it makes me wonder like whether the charting is good, if it's a pattern from a company that's quite famous for, you know, how well it charts, whether the stitching experience is gonna be a lot more pleasant. So I'm kind of very curious. So it makes me wanna start on something else. Oh gosh. Did you guys hear that? This noise never used to exist. It started after she had this arthritis / hip problem. I don't know whether it's related or it's just because she's getting old now. There's a lot of noise that comes out of that mouth. Yeah, so I kind of want to start the Odyssey chart I have. It's called Spring Will Come. I think the artist is called Vitas? I'm not sure. Must be. But I got the fabric for that one, but I don't have the threads. But I don't have any budget left to buy any threads. So it will take me time to keep that one up anyways. But I'm not sure when I'll start it. But I do want to start that one. Because if I wait until this one finishes, I'll never be able to start another full coverage one. Oh yeah, I haven't made up my mind yet, but I do see some new start coming up. Yeah, I'm just not enjoying it as much. Although, I have to say, I feel like I'm making progress a bit faster than before. I mean, what you thinking?
Focus once again. Light on the other side.
Just. She's literally just turning around and round and round on the mat.
Like dogs do. Yep, that's the other side.
Yeah, okay. Oh, and the next video I'll be doing is my November update. And yeah, I have been spending more time stitching the neural stem cell and the Victorian elegance.
The lady.
The lady.
We just call it the lady.
You call her the lady.
Well, I can call her Victoria if you want.
The lady with the fancy hat. And I'm quite happy with my progress. I suppose it can always go faster, but it is what it is. And I'm not sure whether I can finish them by December, to be honest. We'll have to see. Wait a second. Oh, so tough, Mimi. Yeah, originally with this video I wanted to talk about, I guess, our channel, but I feel like my thoughts on my channel is so personal, and it would literally sound like I'm bitching about it, and I don't think people want to hear about that, so I decided not to. Although, yeah, I have a lot to say. But sometimes my opinion can be pretty strong, and I guess that could upset some people. So maybe I should just keep it to myself, and that's only nice. And see, like, after stitching, my parked threads just become like all rubbish. How do the other people make it so neat? I guess it's a secret I'll never be able to figure out. Also, I'm thinking about buying Pattern Keeper, but so let me get the thread. but I actually haven't got an Android tablet, and I considered buying one, but I feel like it's so silly since I already have an iPad. And I don't want to buy something just for one purpose. It just feels like a waste of money. So after much mental struggle, I don't think I'll get an Android tablet. Since my current laptop is kind of like a pad. It's like a Surface Pro or something. Anyways, I downloaded like an emulator, whatever, like an Android emulator thing, so you can turn your laptop into a mobile. I think it's originally developed for like mobile gaming on a PC, but it can also be used for apps that can only be running on Android system. So I downloaded, I think it's called Nemu. And apparently it's a newer one that's free. So once I'm ready to work on another full coverage, i.e. the Hardesty spring will come, I will start my trial with Pattern Keeper on laptop, so I'll download it on the laptop, and maybe I guess also download it on my phone, so I can use my phone if I want to, since it's got more mobility. Jeez, that's a very long park. Yeah. And that's for the patterns, like digital PDF patterns that are Amy. They're compatible with Pattern Keeper. I'm also thinking about buying Markup RXP on iPad, so that can be used for paper charts that are, I guess, not so compatible with Pattern Keeper, because you can manually tune things, tune the app to track the patterns on the paper, and maybe like with the help of the two apps I can stitch a lot faster, because right now with this, not system, but like with the good reader I got, it's harder to check which symbol is which color, even though I suppose I could draw everything on the card, but I'm lazy. And also, like when you're just eyeballing, okay, this symbol is there, 9 times out of 10, somewhere you don't want to miss, you end up missing something, and you have to come back with that color and just do one stitch. It's very annoying and very time consuming. I guess the worst thing you can do is just stitch one stitch. And maybe I don't have to worry about it as much once I get those apps. And then just, we're now looking for another symbol. I mean, another one with the same symbol. I don't think so. I kind of want to work on here, but also this area is so messy. It makes me feel bad to work on something else. Do you guys feel the same? You want to make sure things are neat before you move on, but because now I want to, like, instead of working on a column following the page, I want to work horizontal as well. And then once horizontally it's perfectly filled, I will adjust the frame to expose more on the bottom and just complete the page that way instead of actually page finish, because as you can see it's really hard to get to the bottom of the page with the current area. Oh wow, it's really bottom, so I'll leave it alone. So this symbol is actually down the bottom, but it's really hard to get to, so I'll just leave it. Find it. Yeah, so there's one more week and a little bit until November finishes. So I don't know whether I want to spend more days stitching this one. I think I might put more days in the two I'm focusing on this month anyways. And depending on how I go, then I might put in a couple more days on the Wedding Sampler by Therese Wenzler. I'm not enjoying that one at the moment either, because the area I'm stitching is like the floral bit, and that has so much confetti, and it's not just normal confetti, it's like you need to do the ninja stitches, so you need to contain everything in one grid. So there's a lot of trying to hide the threads at the back. Gosh, what's happening? And cut the thread and start the thread again. Oh, I've done so much mess here. And I think I made a few mistakes that kind of ruined my night. Yeah, I had to frog a couple times too. But when I was stitching on the border, that was okay, because it's literally just counting. It's one color, and when it's one color, you do see progress pretty quickly. But yeah, I can't avoid confetti forever. It's there. And if I don't do it, it'll always be there. So yeah, I guess I just gotta do it in small doses. And try to avoid it when it's late night. I think it was...
Like now?
Yeah. I think I was getting too comfortable because I was stitching on the border for a bit, and I thought, oh, I'm used to this. I'm actually enjoying it. It's because I was stitching the border, not because I'm enjoying the whole thing. And the whole thing is easier. No, it's not.
Let your guard down.
Yeah, I did. It's being a bit of a dum-dum. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to show you my progress, but before that happens, more appointments. But I think if everything goes okay with the urologist, if he's like, well, there's nothing we can do, we can only observe, then that means there's nothing more to do really for my kidneys. So I probably just need to wait until Jan for my surgery. So once the surgery's done, they said the recovery time is a week, about a week. And then I can go back to work. And I'll see how I go. JP got the week, the week and a half. Yeah.
You weren't sure if you were going to do it then or December?
As well, so he can look after me and he can hang out with me if I don't need any looked after.
Yeah, you just paint and stuff. Doesn't sound awful.
And hopefully I'll have quite a bit of time to stitch and maybe make a few more videos if I'm up for it. But yeah, I'll see how I go. I want to take it easy. Plus, I'm assuming there will be a bunch of medicines for me to take. And boy, if you know me, you'll know I hate taking medications. But I'll be a good patient and take medication when needed.
You know how annoying it is when they don't?
Yes. Compliance, very important. And I've told work if after 1 week, well, I've asked for 1 more week off after the surgery to recover, and I have told them, like, I would let them know how I go. If I don't, like, if I'm not ready, I'll let them know and see how much more time I need. Yeah. Like, my GP also told me it's pretty simple surgery and there's literally minimal risk. So hopefully everything will be okay. But I have been told that it's not the pain that's annoying, it's like the bloating, because
it's abdominal.
Yeah, because they, like, when you do laparoscopy, they need to use carbon dioxide to lift up your organs so they can see what's underneath and operate on you. And
so cool.
I'm sorry?
So cool.
Well, yeah, like, in theory it's very cool, and I'm sure when you actually see it happen it's cool, but when you have gas inside of you abdominally, it takes a long time to dissipate, so you'll feel bloated, and apparently it can be very uncomfortable. So I'm not looking forward to that. Because although I am regretting not doing it in December, because I don't know whether it's because the cyst might be growing in size that I'm feeling more discomfort, or now that I know to watch out for it, so I can feel more pain on my left side. But yeah, I kind of wish I could get it done in December. And I did ask them whether they had any availability in December. They said it's like 22nd, which would be about 2 weeks before my actual date, but it's not that much in advance. So then, and also it's so close to Christmas, and it will make everything a lot more complicated. So I just decided to stick to my original date.
Well, yeah, like you said, it's not bringing it any closer anyway.
No, because most of the discomfort will be around like menstruation time, and if I were to bring it forward in December, I still had to go through another cycle, which is really essentially the same. It's the same amount of discomfort plus more planning and disorganized involved. So it's fine. That means we get to do some videos around Christmas anyways, and that will be our officially, I think, 1 year anniversary on YouTube.
The great Lowry Stand beginnings.
No, Lowry Stand video was filmed the start of November last year actually. So technically that video has already had its 1 year anniversary, but we made it public maybe, I think, maybe just before Christmas. Can't quite remember.
It took us a while to figure it all out.
Yeah, it took a while for us to figure out how to edit, but also we didn't want to just make our channel public when we only had one video, because at the time we also didn't know what our filming schedule would be like, so we didn't want to just have one video to call our channel and have the next one be like 1 month later. So I ended up filming a few more before we made the channel public, or I guess publish our channel, or be officially existing in Facebook.
Google.
Facebook. YouTube.
Facebook might win it one day.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, Meta.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I guess I can't talk now, and that means I should be finishing now. Otherwise I might
say something you regret.
Yep. Or actually expose my intelligence, which is minimal.
No.
So yeah, many big things ahead. Well, I plan to do some kind of special videos.
For Christmas?
No. For our 1 year anniversary, kind of. Or around our 1 year anniversary on YouTube. Because if I want to do something fun, that will be the perfect time. Do you have anything planned?
Me? No, there's lots of battle reports because I can finally do them. I've been wanting to do them for like 5 months.
Yeah, I think JP actually really enjoys doing his battle reports.
Apologies to all the stitches. Put up with it.
I think I personally like how our channel's going. I know it's weird that we have different things going on, and they're like really different as well. Mostly, if you do one, you will not do the other. But that's how our household goes. It's a very mixed bag sort of household, and I do want our channel to reflect that too. Plus, if later on we want to do something else, we can, because there's nothing restricting us not doing it. And that's the beauty of, you know, calling a couple of dabblers. So yeah. But yeah, that means in terms of channel growth, we're doing really badly. For me, like in my opinion. But also, I don't want to change that. So I just gotta...
Yeah, it's just how it is.
Yeah, just gotta learn to accept it.
One of us brings out a video, it tanks the other person.
That's how it works.
But it's where we can do things together instead of having to call it a collaboration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Florina from her channel is hanging out to me.
It's like, you want the freedom, then you have to bear the consequences.
But I think regardless of the subscribers going up, I think the viewers shows that there is interest in the channel. Oh, not just the channel, but the content. And subscribers ultimately doesn't mean all that much. It'd just be nice to get to 1,000 so we can actually pay our hobbies with this. Wouldn't that be cool?
I think when you reach 500, you get to do like posts, and that would be nice too.
Yeah, it keeps it all in one place instead of having to put them on Instagram.
Yeah. I think maybe I'll just stop here.
Alright, well, you gotta say goodbye to them.
Yeah, I know.
And then I'll get up and press it.
I feel like my brain is dead.
Oh yeah, you were pretty dead before, so...
Yeah, I'm really tired today. Well, I'm really tired all week, really. I think that's it. I might stitch a little bit of the neural stem cell because I really want to finish that section. I have one more color to do, and you'll get to see it in the next video to see my progress. Yeah, I've done a little bit. I'm sorry, it's really messy, but you know. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully we'll talk about a bit more upbeat contents. And stay safe, stay happy, enjoy whatever you enjoy doing. See ya, bye!